Welcome to Practical Talk Time. I'm your host, Usha Kumar. Today I have with me a wonderful guest, a wonderful cook who also has her own catering business, and she has her own food truck. And she's here to tell us how she got started, and she's going to tell all about entrepreneurship, the hurdles she faced, and the fun she's having with it. So please join me in welcoming Dee Longo.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
I hope you had a good drive here today.
I did. It was lovely. I took Route 25 and just took my time, so it was very, very pleasant drive.
You live in Stratford, Connecticut?
Yes, live in Stratford.
And you work in Milford?
Yes.
Primarily?
Primarily in Milford.
Okay. So when are you going to expand to the Danbury area?
Hopefully in a couple of years, maybe I'll be able to buy another food trailer and expand my horizons. So it would be interesting if I could, if I can pursue another truck. So that would be great.
How long have you been doing this now?
I have been doing this. I started in May. I opened the first week in May.
This year?
This year.
Oh my God.
It was a trial
Okay.
run, so I had to get acclimated to everything in the kitchen. It's extremely different working in your own kitchen. You know, you have cabinets and space for everything and drawers, and so now you're put into a commercial kitchen, which is all stainless steel, and it doesn't have the cabinets and the cupboards and everything that you're used to putting your utensils in.
Well, I see. So I think we have to back up a little bit.
Okay.
So you have a business called what? Mama Dee's Kitchen?
It's Mama Dee's Italian Kitchen.
Italian Kitchen. And so obviously you make Italian food?
Italian food.
What kind of food?
I make hot sandwiches, meatball grinders, chicken parmesan, sausage and peppers, and for the vegetarians, I make eggplant.
And where did you learn to make these?
Oh, from my mother. I've been cooking since I was 9 years old. My mom worked, so...
Are you of Italian origin?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay.
So she used to leave me little notes on the table when I came home from school, so I wouldn't get in trouble and wander out on the street. So she would leave me notes and recipes and how to cook.
Oh, so you can prepare and keep some food ready.
Yes, so
How
I prepared.
old were you when you
I
did
think I was
that?
like 9 or 10.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was
think
working-
even I got started around that time with cooking. My mom used to give me little pots of things to do, or make some small side dish or something.
Yeah, something simple.
Yeah, something simple, but then still has the sense or the basic foundation or steps
Yes.
for cooking.
Yes.
Okay.
So.
So do you speak Italian at all?
No, I took it in high school, but my mother and I couldn't converse because in high school they taught you the Roman Italian, and she was a dialect, the Naples dialect, so we didn't understand each other.
Oh my God, but you know Italian. So, and all of the cooking is authentic Italian
Yes.
cooking?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. Are you able to get all the ingredients here that you would
Yes.
find in Italy?
Yes. I go to a certain store, and they carry all the Italian foods and seasonings that require the great sandwiches that I make. So it works out well.
I'm wondering, with having started so young, what did you do all these years?
You mean for
In your adult life, what else
my
were you
adult
doing?
life? Okay, my adult life. When you're young, the opportunities were very small. You were either a nurse, a teacher, or a secretary.
I see.
So I chose the secretarial field. I fought it tooth and nail. I really didn't want to do that, but
Did you have to learn typing?
yeah, I had to learn typing and
I
shorthand.
think that's the most difficult thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
Typing
It's
job.
so that's how I started out in small offices, and then I went corporate and worked 30 years, and finally at the very end I had a wonderful boss. My last 20 years of working, and he was great. He taught me a lot of things, and I learned a lot in the corporate world. I learned marketing and how to brand things. And
you must have learned a lot of administrative
yes,
work too.
yes,
Because that's what, when you're an administrative assistant, basically,
exactly,
as a secretary.
exactly.
So you really watch the whole business.
The whole
go
business,
through. Yes.
yeah, from the foundation up, and you know, it taught me a lot of great skills, organizational skills. You know, how to manage things and do 5 different things at the same time. You know, so it taught me a lot.
Yeah, I find that, talking to people and also reading a lot of articles written by experts, that women are able to handle 4 or 5 things at a time.
Yes, we are. We can
While men
multitask.
can only, we can multitask, while men generally just focus on one thing at a time.
Yes.
But then sometimes we also have to do that, not get so scatterbrained with so much that we can do.
Exactly. Sure.
And start focusing so we can do one thing nicely.
Do it well. Do one thing well. Yeah.
I'm really intrigued, So you were in this corporate world, doing secretarial work. I'm really stunned that you did typing and also shorthand. You mentioned.
Yes.
I don't think the young people even know what shorthand is.
No, they probably don't. It's a language all of its own.
Yeah, I remember seeing all these, little strokes and little curls and twirls, and they were supposed to mean a whole word.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
And then an uncle of mine created shorthand for the Tamil language, so it could be used in the government. So he created the whole thing, and so at home we all used to have those leftover, the steno book.
The steno books, yes.
The shorthand book. It doesn't have the same size as the regular notebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just brings back memory, but I'm sure a lot of youngsters just don't even know what that is.
No, no.
Because now we have the dictaphones, or you just have things that can just record and type it up for you.
Yeah, it was a series of technology. You started off with shorthand, then the dictaphone came into play, and then the computers, and then they left you on your own. So you had to figure a lot of things out. You had to be proactive in your work environment. You just couldn't sit there and wait for your boss to give you directions. You had to be proactive and be like 2 steps ahead to figure out what he wanted. So it was a great learning experience.
So now, how did that all translate
to where I am
where
now?
You are now? And I'm just wondering, what made you want to start this business?
Well, I was with the company for 15 years, and we were bought out. The company was sold, and the corporate headquarters was moving to Richmond, Virginia.
Was this like a consumer retail company?
Yes, a manufacturing company.
Manufacturing, okay.
And so I was too young to retire, and unfortunately I didn't have the opportunity to go to Richmond. They were only taking managers and above. So when I was younger, I always wanted to open up a little bistro restaurant, just a few tables. I didn't want anything big, just on a very small scale. And when I got laid off, I had to reinvent myself. I was too young to retire, but yet too old to pursue the same career when others can do it a lot cheaper than what I was making.
I see.
So I just, I said to my kids, I said I wanted to buy a food truck and I wanted to take it to the next level.
So why a food truck and not a place, like a restaurant?
I didn't want a brick and mortar. I didn't want to deal with leasing or renting, hiring staff. I thought it would be too much for me at this point in time.
That'll be too much of overhead, not knowing what the income could be or revenue would be.
Exactly.
Okay. So the food truck itself, have you purchased things from a food truck? Like, how did you think about a food truck?
I did my research, and the food trucks were extremely expensive. They were between $60,000 and $70,000. So I said, well, that's out of my price range.
Because that has a kitchen in it?
Yes.
It has, it's like a commercial kitchen inside.
It's a commercial kitchen.
And then you get to drive it.
No, what had happened was when I was researching the food trucks, they were too expensive for me.
Okay.
And so I did more research and I found they made these food trailers.
Oh, I see.
And
Okay.
I already owned a truck,
Okay.
so I pull it with my Ford F-150
Okay.
truck.
Oh, I see. Okay. So this is less expensive.
Yes.
Because you already have the truck.
Right.
And then you attach the trailer. So this is the food trailer,
Right.
basically. How big is it?
It is 8 by 14.
Okay, I think
It's a good size.
it's a good size.
You can get 4 people in there comfortably cooking.
Yeah, okay.
If I wanted to expand.
And then how did you have like a window with?
Yes, it has a concession window.
I've seen some in New York, but they were smaller van kind of.
Yes. Sometimes I think I overdid it. You know, I think I should have probably went smaller.
Oh, I see.
But
Well, it's nice to keep things ready, you know, when you're scaling for growth.
yes,
At that time, you don't have to wonder, oh my God, I have to put in
that's
the
true.
fixed expense
That's a
again.
good point. That's a good point.
And in between, during heavy traffic times, you can still hire extra people and still work in the same trailer.
Yes, yes, it's very comfortable. Every day I go in there and I can't believe it's mine.
And are you allowed to park it anywhere? I mean, how does it work with the city?
With the city, unfortunately, Stratford doesn't allow food trailers.
Okay.
So I went the next town over, and that's Milford. And they allowed food trailers, and they gave me a permit that I could park on the street as long as, you know, I don't put any pedestrians in harm's way. So the way the truck and the trailer is situated, if I pulled up alongside the street, my concession window is on the passenger side, so no one's crossing the street.
Oh, I see.
So, you know, there's less of someone getting hurt, you know, getting to me.
Do you frequently unhook and rehook the trailer? I mean,
No, I don't. I was very fortunate.
so you're able to park your truck and the trailer.
And the trailer stays
and there's enough
attached.
room for that.
Mhm.
Okay.
And I was very fortunate that I was able to acquire a parking lot that I'm with another food vendor.
Oh, I
And
see.
so now I just stay in one place. I don't go from place to place.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so that works out well
Then
for
how
me.
do you go from your home to the trailer?
I drive my truck. I leave the trailer in the parking lot.
Oh, then you unhook it.
I unhook it
Oh, so
and
you
I
do
go.
have to do that on a daily basis.
No, just once a week I do it.
Oh, okay. You just
So
park
once
it
I
there,
detach,
and
right.
then you detach, and then you go back and forth. But then, only when you're ready to move the trailer to another place, then you have to rehook
it,
attach.
right.
Okay, I think I get the idea. Yeah, it is a lot of work, I think.
It is.
Right?
There were a lot of things that I didn't consider. You know, when I purchased it, I just was very focused on what I wanted to do and didn't realize the manpower that I needed to hitch it and unhitch it.
Do you need help every time?
You have to be strong and you have to have help.
Yeah, because
And I wasn't counting on that.
have you had these U-Haul trailers? I did that once. We had a small U-Haul trailer hitched to the car, and when we moved from one state to another, because we wanted to carry some of our things with us, although we'd put all the big furniture in storage, but we still had a lot of stuff to take with us. And it was a hassle because you couldn't drive too fast. You have to
Yes.
drive not more than 45 miles per hour.
Right,
And
right.
then sometimes it's very hard to
make the
turn,
turns.
to make a turn. And then you have to really have the knack for it. You have to keep turning the opposite way. You have to turn the steering in the opposite direction to where you want the
Yes, when you're backing up.
Yeah.
It's very
So
confusing.
very confusing. It was a learning experience for me too.
Yes.
And I couldn't have done that, the hitching it and unhooking.
No.
No.
And I
still can't
wasn't
do it.
counting. I wasn't counting on that when I purchased the trailer. I just figured, okay, I can do this, and you need a lot of strength to do that.
Okay. So who else in your family helps you with this?
My children are extremely supportive.
Okay. How old are they?
I have a beautiful daughter that's 36 and a son that's 28.
Okay,
And
adults.
yes, they are, and they've left the house. They've left the nest.
Oh, I see. So you don't have them coming and helping you on a daily basis or anything?
No, but they're very
just
supportive.
Okay.
We see each other every Sunday. We have dinner together. And, you know, they're always checking on me to make sure I'm doing okay and how many sandwiches did you sell today. And so they're checking on me. They're extremely supportive in what I wanted to do.
I'm just curious, you know, from a business point of view. Did you do a market study? Did you decide, okay, there's going to be so much foot traffic here, or when am I going to have big sales and when am I not going to have much sales, you know?
It was a difficult thing to do when you're researching that part of your marketing. There's a lot of traffic on Bridgeport Avenue on Route 1, but I need the foot traffic.
Yeah.
So primarily right now I get a lot of construction people, blue-collar workers that stop. There's a possibility that, you know, maybe somewhere down the road I'll have to move to another location where there are more offices. In, you know, hospital area where they're tired of the cafeteria food and they want something different. So there's a lot of options there, but I figured I would just start off there in the parking lot. It was convenient for me, so I wouldn't have to move the trailer every day. You know, I'm allowed to leave it there and it's plugged into a building. So that worked for me.
I'm just wondering, you know, because you're having this catering business, what are all, you did mention what all you make, right? So can you elaborate a little bit on what you make?
Sure.
And kind of how you make them, some of them, you know, what's special about each? You don't have to go into details of the recipe, but...
Okay, well, I think what really sets me apart from other catering places and food vendors is that I purchase the product first thing in the morning, and then I go to the food trailer and I prepare it right there. It's a, you know, restaurant kitchen as far as the equipment and everything, and so I prepare the meatballs and everything's, you know, the health department doesn't like me to use the term homemade, but it's made from scratch. I don't buy it at a, I don't think I can mention a certain place, but
like pre-prepared,
pre-made food. So it's not
a lot
frozen.
Of, I think a lot of places they get these frozen packets.
Exactly.
And all they do is just heat it up and put it together.
Exactly.
But you're making things from scratch.
From scratch. So that sets me apart from the other food vendors.
And the ingredients itself, you pick and choose and you buy them?
Yes.
Are they, like, quality-wise, what do you pay attention to?
Quality-wise, just fresh herbs.
Okay.
And, you know, I use
and
a lot
meats
of...
and all.
Yes, high-quality meats. And pork when I make the sausage and peppers. And, you know, fresh herbs and, you know, high-quality meats and cheese, you know, puts it all together.
And for the sandwiches, for the breads, what do you do?
For the breads, I have a local vendor that delivers my bread.
Okay.
And,
so you get them fresh every day?
Yes, fresh every day. Yeah, the shelf life on bread now, there's not a lot of preservatives in them. So if you don't use the bread in that day, the texture of it changes. So I grind it all up.
So you get them in the morning?
In the morning, first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have fresh bread every day. My food products are fresh. It's not anything frozen or prepackaged. So that's what sets me apart.
You are working alone in this. What are your hours?
Well, I'm up at 6:30 in the morning.
Okay.
And you know, I make a list of all the products that I need, and then from there I go to the local markets and get what I need. And then I usually start cooking like around 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So by 11:30, you know, a lot of the landscapers, they start early, and they're ready for lunch at 11:30.
Yeah, they start their day early.
Exactly.
And then they're hungry by 11:30.
Yes.
So you get the food ready by 11:30.
Yes.
Working by yourself. And what is your typical lunch menu there?
My lunch menu is a meatball grinder sandwich on, it's like an Italian bread. It's an 8-inch roll. And chicken parmesan, sausage and peppers, and then I do eggplant.
And what do you do for condiments?
For condiments, there really isn't much. In the food trailer, I do have a fry-later if someone wanted fries, but the majority of the people that are coming to me right now, they're kind of grab-on-the-go sandwich.
Okay.
So they don't want to wait around for the fries to cook, they just get the sandwich and go.
So it's food that's ready to go.
Yes.
And if it's a sandwich, you just put it together right
Put
there.
it together in the bread, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, see, I don't eat meat, so it's kind of hard for me to, I wish Sandy was here, she would ask you more questions,
Oh,
specific
no, that's
to
okay.
meats and stuff.
No, they're just, it's all fresh food every morning, so
And what kind of cheeses do you use?
I use the mozzarella cheese, I use the grated Parmesan Reggiano cheese for the meatballs.
And those are the Italian ones?
Those are the Italian cheeses. And then if I have other people that come, I had 2 gentlemen come yesterday, and they wanted a meatball grinder, and they wanted jalapeno peppers on it, because they like hot food.
Now everybody's getting used to that.
Exactly. So that was kind of a twist to it. It was like, you want hot peppers on a meatball sandwich? He said yes.
So what did you do?
So luckily I had jalapeno peppers, and I
okay.
just sliced them and put them on, and they were thrilled. So, there's not too much of a variation, but hopefully, whenever someone asks for something like that, I have it on hand.
Yeah, so. We Americans are eating hotter and hotter food now, spicier food.
Spicy food. I don't care for it, but they seem to like it.
Well, sometimes it's good to have, the marinated jalapenos, slices or whatever. It's easier to, it keeps. And then you can also put them in sandwiches.
Yeah,
and you have these other peppers too that go in sandwiches.
The hot peppers.
Yeah.
So,
because I know it's hard to have all fresh ingredients that kind of last, right?
Yeah, just.
if you can't keep too many perishable items.
No, and that's another issue that I had with people, because of course everybody tries to tell me what I should be making. You should try this, you should try that. And like you said, it's perishable items. And I'm not a diner. When you go to a food truck or a food trailer, usually they just offer one item. It's either the grilled cheese sandwich or whatever. And I'm offering 4 sandwiches. So, I have people poke their head in and you go, do you have a hot dog? I go, no.
Well, they'll come around. Those who want the items that you do have, I'm sure they'll be willing to try.
Absolutely.
It's interesting for me to see that, even though you have your hours, lunchtime from 11:30 up to what time are you open?
Till 2:30.
So it seems like only 3 hours that you're open. And then again in the evening, are you open?
And then sometimes on Thursdays and Fridays, I reopen from 4 to 8.
Okay, for 4 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you do with the rest of the time? You already mentioned in the morning that it goes in purchasing your items, getting the list and purchasing items.
Yeah, the 2-hour break that I get, I usually go home and turn on the air conditioner.
Oh,
and
yes,
revive
after being in your
in the hot
that must
trailer.
be really hot in the See, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
We assume every place is air conditioned.
Yeah.
And you don't air condition the kitchen.
No, I don't air condition the kitchen. So I go home and I stand in front of the air conditioner and cool off and drink lots of water and let my dogs out in the backyard and spend a little time with them, and then I just get back in the truck, and it goes by very fast.
And when do you do the cleanup?
The cleanup I do at the end of the night.
That's when you're tired and you don't feel like doing it.
I'm tired, but it has to be done. And then I'm closed on Mondays. That's my day off where I do my book work.
Okay.
And,
What is that?
That's when I do my accounting, my book work.
Accounting, okay.
So you wear several
So
hats.
you have a business, you need to keep track of everything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, at the end of the week you balance out your what you sold, and so that I do that on Mondays.
Okay.
So
That's fun work.
Oh, I wish I can hire someone. I mean, I have an accountant, but you know, you wear, and that's another thing that you don't think of when you're entering into a business like that. You know, the 5 or 6 different hats that you have to wear. You know.
They're long hours more than people think.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And now you're making, you had all this passion for making these foods. You knew how to make it, you had your special recipe, but then to make it day in and day out, how does it feel?
Surprisingly, I'm not tired of it.
Okay.
Maybe in 2 years, if you ask me that, I'll just say I don't want to look at another meatball. But you know, right now I do enjoy it, and I just love when people come and order my food, and sometimes they're able to sit at the picnic table, and I have a little window at the end of the trailer that I can see them sitting at the table eating, and I hear when they bite into the sandwich, so it's like it's very satisfying.
So you've got good reviews?
Yes, so far.
And good feedback from your customers?
Yes, I have repeat customers, so that's a good sign.
That is very interesting, to make a talent that you have and that you always had, right?
Well,
and turn it into a business.
Yeah.
And I hope you're enjoying doing what you're doing.
I am enjoying it very much. I never, like I said, when I get up in the morning and I walk into that trailer and I look around and I can't believe it's mine.
Yeah.
It's like the dream finally came true.
And then you have people looking forward to it.
Yes.
See, just having the food truck and then having your own business, how does it make you feel?
It's very rewarding. Just, you know, I used to hear people say there's nothing like working for yourself. And, you know, when you're in corporate for so many years, it's so far removed from how you think. And then all of a sudden you're put into a position where you're able to make it a reality.
That is wonderful. Thank you very much, Dee.
Thanks for having me.
It was great fun talking to you, and I hope you'll stay around for, you know, to talk some more.
Absolutely.
For the next show.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments or questions, please write to practicaltalktime@yahoo.com. Until next time, goodbye.